Welcome everyone, I'm your host MrElephant. Welcome to Davis Cup 7. We're going to be running a couple of games today. Planning on running Sun Tzu versus Is User Patch Machine. So that means a golf game. Let's begin. So Sun Tzu made by Arandi. Is User Patch Machine made by Norman Duck. His User Patch Machine appears to have messed up his boiler. That's going to cost him. Hello, Tobio. How are you doing? You ready for some team survivalist action today? I'm sure you are, with the king being inside. Fourth player as a team. Have a little bit of a stronger foe today. Is user patch machine. That's great. Glad that you're here to watch some of the games. Tower appears to be causing a little bit of confusion for Sun Tzu. This is not looking good for Sun Tzu right now. He likes early attacks, not late game battles. Sun Tzu does have a few more villagers than Mr. Patch Machine right now. This is looking pretty bad for Sun Tzu right now. He hits Castle Age, so this is maybe an opportunity. Here the patch machine is researching Castle Age. Sun Tzu trying to build some rams. This appears to be a now or never moment for Sun Tzu. Go for the attack. Could be too late. Yeah. This is looking gruesome. A lot of villagers were taken out with that one. Somebody is at my door. I have to step away for a moment. Let's go on to the 4v4. Okay. So, the question is, can Sun Tzu and Team Survivalist take on 4 user patch machines? Sun Tzu. So second player of Sun Tzu is Torisan, but I just want to make a Team Survivalist. So Torisan, which plays Aztec. We have Nightmare 4th. He will be playing a random Civ. That Civ will be Mayans. Oh! Okay, well, I've already got Mayans selected. Great. And second will be the King. So the King 1.1, which should be the last version that I have from Tobio, who was inside the chat, but I don't know if he's still there. So let's see if I think the King 1.1 is the last version of the King. So I'm going to double check AI scripters here for a moment. Then we will start it off. Okay, 1.1 is the last version. 1.1b. Is that right? It has 1.1 right there. Let's see if this is right. Okay, it is the file date's June 29th. Double check that. Yep. Okay, we're good. And the King plays any AOK Civ, I think. So let's see, what Civ will he be today? Franks. So user patch machine will be playing Goths. And then he will be playing Turks. Goths. Well, already did Goths. Tunes. And Mongols. Okay. I think we're all set up here, so let's go ahead and begin. So the Survivalists really need this win here. So his user patch machine is not an easy AI to beat by any means. He did take the first fight here, but maybe the King and Torisan and Nightmare Fourth can make up for lost ground here. Kind of quiet inside the chat today. Hope you guys are doing well out there. I know a lot of people have been working hard to work on their AIs. A lot of new AIs inside development. Appears user patch Orange wasn't able to get up his tower quick enough. I guess the question is, will the King be able to take the user patch on his side? It'll be tricky. This opponent's strong. They really need to win it. Scout's doing a pretty good job from the king. Highest scorer on his team right now. Scouts went down from the TC. Looks like Torisan might go for the pocket player. Torisan and the king double teaming Cyan over here. Hello, Novel. How are you? I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name, but we are currently running Davis Cup 7. Davis Cup is an event around the community where AIs fight one another to be known as the top AI on Arabia. On Definitive Edition right now. Currently on screen are two different teams. Team Survivalists made by Sun Tzu made by Arandi. The King made by Tobio. Nightmare 4th made by Jawa. And Torisan made by Coteti. And the other team is User Patch Machine made by Norman Duck. If you are interested in making your own AI or following the group in general, make sure to check out the Discord channel. And that link is inside the chat. How will the mixed team AIs get ranked if they win? It's the best of, so inside the brackets, which I will also post here, yes, these are all custom AIs, but it's a 4v4, of course. So if you take a look at the brackets, and we're looking at the brackets final stage, and we're looking at group 13 down below, the top two winners of the, now a 1v1, a 4v4, and a 2v2 all have to be played versus every single member of that grouping, so a round robin, and the top two AIs will proceed to the next round. Yeah, it's a big tourney. We had around 350 AIs in total. AIs of all ages, shapes, sizes. Yeah, we're already in the big boy stage, that's for sure. It's taken a little bit of time to run. Well, let's just say that. But there are a couple more rounds after this, of course. And then, but we're starting to wrap things up here. So the king coming in with knights. So remember that Promi has a couple of AIs inside the tournament. He has Promi, and then he has Naga, which is his newer AI. And there's also the DE AI, which he worked on, but Offlow has taken over. So the DE AI and Promi are two separate AIs. But yeah, Promi should still be in a pretty good position, I would think. Looks like Nightmare 4th might be going for the attack here. Well, the DEAI, think about it like this. Promi was the original AI that you all remember from the good old days of being AIs, and then think about the DEAI being its own branch, and then Naga being the other branch, and so they've separated, and they're completely different AIs at this point, and they play differently too. So Promi is the original AI, no longer being worked on, but the DEAI and Naga are two AIs that formed off the original. What's the difference? Well, that's hard to say. The difference between Naga and Promi, or DE and Promi, or Naga and the DEAI. There are. It's hard to say because, but they play a lot different from each other. Offlow has done a lot of unique things with the DEAI. Remember, he's done some house walls. He's done a lot of upgrades. For Promi, only plays the original AOC civs. Remember, so the DEAI in the game files is still called Promi, despite him not coding it anymore. Well, in a way, he still uses files called Promi, but don't think of it as, as Promi. It's just the folder's called Promi, or Promissory, or it's inside everyone's AI. Well, it's in everyone's AI folder that you download when you download Age of Empires. The Promissory folder. Yeah, Promi doesn't code it anymore. He's gone on to do bigger and better stuff, but he's still working on his own AI called Naga now. So that's what he's working on at this point. So make sure to follow that AI. He took original Promi and he's building upon it and doing greater stuff with it. With the time that he has. No problem. I know it gets slightly confusing with all the different AIs inside the tournament, but so many different and exciting AIs. Yeah, we tried to make this year very exciting by including almost every AI from previous tournaments that were held on AOK Heaven and AI Scripters, and even an older place than that, a separate old Japanese AI scripting place that held a couple of tournaments. So those AIs were participating as well before they were knocked out. So a lot of AIs are gone now, but and if you're interested in obtaining those AIs for yourself, Esty has included a package out there with all the AIs, so you can check them out if you want to. I can share that link with you if viewers want. Do you know a really good and comprehensive scripting guide that goes from how you bake bread to make complex dishes? Yes. There are a couple of good guides out there. If you want to immediately get started scripting for yourself, there's a couple of good tools. And I can include so Leaf has a good tutorial. And I'll include that inside the chat. Let me see if I can find it. Oh goodness. Oh, I'll have to find it after the game probably. Let's see if I can quickly find it. So this is a good tool here for you guys to use if you want to start making your own AIs. Here, it's Rock Hurless AI Builder, and oh, the Twitch tutorial session isn't there anymore? Oh. Let me think about. Let me see if that's right. And I also have this link here of me going into making some basic AIs. So I don't know if that's the one that you were thinking about, Kiwo. So it looks like Nightmare. Let's go back to seeing how Survivalists are doing. they're going to be survivors or not. The king's not having a good day. But it looks like Sun Tzu and Nightmare Fourth are still pushing through here. So Nabul, once you have looked at those guides and resources, make sure to check out the community and ask questions. And there are a lot of good folk around that can answer your questions if you have any. But check out those tutorials first. And yeah. And the tool from AOK Heaven that I posted, that's Rock Hurl. It's a little bit farther into the video. It doesn't start immediately, so just an FYI. There are a couple of different builders. And once you have the basics down, then you can kind of move on to bigger and better things. Yeah, this has been a very interesting match with Sun Tzu and Nightmare 4 doing some of the heavy lifting behind the team here. But I think it's more of a 2v2 to be honest, because Torisan appears to be struggling. Let's take a look at what he's doing over here. Torisan is definitely struggling. This is a very close game. Yeah, it's so fun that, you know, with our luck, we might run into the villager glitch. Or some other malfunction. Hopefully not, though. I'll try not to, he will. So Nightmare 4th is playing mines pretty well. It's running into a little bit of difficulty with these castles though. So Torisan doing a little bit of work with Sun Tzu over here. Oh, there are several AIs that are very, very difficult to beat, depending on your level. I mean, yes, you're right in the fact that they can't compete with the best of humans, but there are a lot of AIs that can play pretty well, and some of them play. I don't know if you're familiar with Barbarian or Immortal or Rehoboam, but those AIs are play play the game very, very well. So, but the scripters put in a ton of effort behind their AIs. It's very difficult to script some aspects of it requires a lot of technical know-how to be able to script a lot of stuff. So it can be difficult. Yeah, it will be very, very difficult to beat the best humans. Almost impossible, I'd say. But who knows? Something may happen to change that in the future. So at this point, I think it's turned into a 3v1, 2v1, if we count, or 3v1 if we count Torisan. He's not dead, so I think we can count him. He's not doing much, but he is providing some support. Yeah, Rehoboam is one of those that can do some of those tricks. 4 units getting killed at one time. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, I think we can speed this up. Yep. His user patch machine is a very, very good AI. This is the user patch version of his AI, not the standard edition. So this one's actually better than the. It includes user patch commands. So that's what makes it better than the standard machine. Okay, let's go ahead and let the game end here and proceed to the 2v2. So good job to Team Survivalists. Let's go ahead and update the score here. So we have to do a 2v2 now. So the other civ that will be played will be Spanish. Okay. What is Esty's strongest AI? Well, that's hard to say. He's made a lot of good AIs. Recently, he made another new AI, Elephant Man, and he also has Tribal Warriors, Odette, Pharaoh. He's worked on a ton of AIs too. Also, YGG Drasil, and I think Pharaoh did the best inside Davis Cup 6, but I don't know if I would classify that as his best AI. It's really difficult to say. Tribal Warriors is probably his most well-known AI, I would say. Yeah, Pharaoh made it the farthest last year of Esty's AIs inside Davis Cup 6. Whether that will carry over to this tournament, who knows? But because that tournament was played on user patch, this is the first year that first time that Davis Cup has been held on DE rather than user patch. Yeah, Tyrion. This is Davis Cup and Definitive Edition now. You were working on an AI at one point, weren't you, Tyrion? I think I remember that you were working on one at some point. It's been a while since I've seen you around the community. That's okay. You script when you can. If you ever want to submit what you worked on, there are no. There are a few requirements, but generally all AIs are allowed to participate in general. So if you want to participate next year inside Davis Cup 8, maybe that can be arranged. If you feel like your AI is in a good place. Something to note about AIs that are accepted inside the tournament is that they cannot cheat in any way. So no cheats, no adding resources, no spying on an opponent or anything like that. So maybe next time we'll see you inside the tournament. Maybe we can convince Kiwo to make an AI eventually here too. Haven't been able to convince him just yet though. We like AIs around the community. Kiwo. I wonder what Kiwo's AI would be like. probably make, I don't know. Anyhow, back to the current game on screen. Sun Tzu has invaded his machine, green. Torisan's being abused over here. Hopefully he can get out a couple of equals to help him out. Torisan's begging for help. The good news is that he is fighting back a little bit over here and doing an okay job. But the question is, can Sun Tzu take out green user patch machine? This tower's causing a little bit of trouble for Sun Tzu. No, Torisan, don't do it. Sun Tzu can handle himself. You need to focus on his user patch machine yellow. Don't do it. No. Rest in peace, equals. I'm getting a couple of kills in here. Uh-oh. It's looking a little bit scary. Torisan, no! You chose the wrong opponent. That's a lot of men-at-arms. Don't do it. I... Sun Tzu hits castle. Where are the rams from Sun Tzu? Sun Tzu might want to hurry up in defeating his patch green machine. This is starting to look gruesome. User Patch Machine kind of chose the wrong way to enter the city, though. So Torisan still might be able to defend himself. Wow, I was thinking that he was done for. This is where things might get a little bit tricky. Castle Age User Patch Machine is a little bit stronger. Ram's coming in. Green uses the patch machine. May be at the end of his rope. Oh no, they're targeting the archery range. Will Sun Tzu be able to save Torisan in time here? Looks like his machine is retreating. So I think that Sun Tzu is in a pretty good position now. This is looking close to over. Really? I didn't know. I remember that Norman Duck was had that at some point, Leaf. That's interesting that you say that, and that makes total sense. There's been a couple of different clans that have made AIs for Age of Empires over the years. Interesting, though. I semi-remember that being stated at one point from him. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-1 for Team Survivalists here. They lost the 1v1, but they won the 4v4, and it looks like they're going to win the 2v2 here. Yeah, the Tonto clan really isn't talked about very much in general, really. Even though we have some of the posters and stuff from that era. And some good AIs did come out from that age, too. Look at that. The units were see-through there. I don't know if you guys saw that there for a second. Like a see-through box. I think we can speed this up to 4 auto. I think HZ Farmer was part of a clan, and there were some other AIs too. Was it CPS Alexander, or let me think. What else am I thinking about that had clans? I know Farmertron was part of the clan. I want to say CPS AIs fell under a clan at one point. It's also Zoidal clan. Yeah, several AIs with clans over the years. Okay, I think we can call this. Let's watch a little bit more depth here. Even though Sun Tzu and Torisan have this. But I think Alliance was started back there inside the Tonto clan, wasn't it, Leaf? Because Maboose was part of that thing. Okay, let's call this. So good job to Sun Tzu and Torisan.